Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another City Skyline video where today we have got a huge traffic jam that we need to clear. With another traffic fix in the city, I found this little save game on the Steam Workshop that was begging to be fixed. So guys, if you enjoy this, want to see more traffic fixes in the future, maybe you got your own challenges you want me to try and do, upload them to the Steam Workshop and link you to them on Twitter or Discord. I'll check them out. But the roads may look empty, but they're not. They're not. This one is very, very horrible. And I'll tell you why, and I'll show you in just a second. It looks kind of okay. There's a few little bits and bobs here and there. But if I exit out of it, oh, this is where all the problems now begin. If we go to the average traffic flow right now, it's 13%, which I've seen worse. But when you get into it and you see this huge backlog here, whoever built this city, oh my goodness me, it pains me. It falls all the way down into here, into the city, which you can see it all comes down, which is not great. It comes around to this cool little spiral roundabout thing that's meant to filter traffic into different ways, which is not doing its job. It could do a lot better. There's a nice big industrial section over here and over here, which is just completely filled with traffic as well. Oh my goodness me, this is not good. It's not good. It's like the city's unfinished in many ways and could have been made so much more efficient. But today, hopefully, we can do this. I am up for the challenge. So again, let's take a look at the traffic flow then. I've got a few things to make it a little bit more difficult for me as well. So it's actually got down to 11%. I feel like it's just getting worse and worse and worse as time goes on. We could bottom out to like a 5% or something like that. That'd be kind of crazy. But just to make it a little bit more difficult for me, well, first, I've had unlimited money because when I loaded this save game up, this city was in so much debt, so I had to enable it. I've got super demand on, so there's constantly people coming into the city, so it's going to give me no rest in terms of trying to fix the traffic. And I've also disabled despawning, so the cars, they're not going anywhere, guys. They're literally not going anywhere. So let's take a look at the city then. So we have, we've got a main road coming in there, one over there, and one over there. So altogether, there's 3 routes into the city. There is quite a lot of highway. So you were thinking, well, the traffic must be flowing super, super easy. But they kind of, well, there's only one that kind of goes through the city, and that's the one that's all clogged up. So we got to try and fix that. There's a lot of traffic over here, which has to go through that. And there was a highway right next to it just there that we could link up and hook up. And that could solve many, many issues. But I'm not liking this roundabout to begin with at the start. Now, let me, it's a one-way road. Hold on. Yeah, it's a one-way road that goes round. Right. Hold on. Okay, so these 2 highway coming in stop. They could quite easily come down to here. And go. Okay, right. We're going to try something. So let's pause. I'm going to delete the electricity. Get rid of all of these. It was nice to know you nice. Right. Let me get rid of all of this. Right, they're not going to like it. But I need to do this. I need to spread my wings to be able to fix the traffic. It'll be easier to dezone it, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would be the best thing to do. So we're going to dezone then. And what I'm going to do now is put the roads back to how they literally just was. And how they was is, it's not that type of road. Oh no, it's the one with grass, isn't it? Yeah. These beautiful 2-lane roads, which I can't do it all the way. Because it kind of stops a little bit. But if I just demolish that. And demolish that and demolish that. I'm so sorry. What are these anyway? It's the post-sorting facility. Right, we'll just merge it over to here. So that's causing a lot of traffic trying to, as the people come in, they're getting caught up with all the post trucks trying to get out of here. And what was that again? That is this recycling facility. So people trying to then leave the area, getting caught up by all the garbage trucks coming out. I mean, it's not the main cause of the traffic because you can see backlogs further back. But it's going to definitely contribute to it. So we need to kind of figure out a really, really good way to kind of get the traffic in and out. Now, I could drop down like a roundabout, which would fit in quite nice. Let me have the ability to cause these collisions, which they're probably not going to like it, but hey-ho. So let's then get rid of it. And it is quite a small roundabout, so... How big is the big one? Yeah, I feel like that one's too big. It could be too big. But then again, I could maybe link it, bend this around to go... I don't know. You never know, this could actually solve it. So let's just kind of play around with this idea first. So let's upgrade all of that. And then we create our roads coming down. It's going to be very interesting. Wait, what road have they got there? They got the really, really big boy ones. These ones. So I feel like they thought, because there's so much traffic, the easiest thing to do is to make the roads wider. And that's not always the best option. It's not always the best option. So if I merge you there, creates this weird connect. Look how mad. It's sent a whole roundabout right now. It's beautiful. And then what we'll do... Now, I'm not too sure how this is going to go or work. But I just create... This is beautiful in so many ways. I can get rid of this one now, so it kind of merges out and around. Okay, glorious. If that's not a thing of beauty, I don't know what is. I don't know what is, guys. This is the greatest connection ever known to man. Right, it looks so ugly. I'm trying to bring it in. I try my best. Right, there we go. Let's just go with it. But hopefully that should solve some form of traffic adjustment to begin with. It's only going to really work for this area. Now, what I need to do is quickly pause it. For these guys here, let's put the snapping back on. We bridge it up. We send it across, and we bring it back down. So they still have that way to cross over without having to go all the way down here and round. If that makes sense. And this kind of keeps it free flowing to a certain degree. So we'll see how that works out. So, oh, was there a bus stop here? I think there was. So this is something else we've got to kind of check as well. Is the public transport, how good did the person build it? But we'll look at that as a, you know, towards the end, once we kind of like sorted out some of the roads. Now it will take a while for that backlog to kind of disappear, but as always, guys, we just have to give it some time. So we'll let that kind of filter itself through, and let's take a look at the next issue. So the next issue is they're coming to the roundabout here as they're trying to get into there. There's traffic leading down here, which is to do with this connection. So it could be people wanting to get off there to go through round, to go round down into here. Which is why we need to create something, you know, feasible in this point as well. Which that then kind of then ruins my original idea. I mean, I could keep that in. And then just have like something else connected. So if I just quickly pause. And what we'll do is we'll completely disregard this whole junction. It's not really doing anything in this area at all. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what it's meant to be doing, what these buildings are meant to be doing. What are they? It's a postage facility, there's a post office, and there's a firehouse. They don't even have power, so I'm not exactly sure what is going on. But let's get rid up to this point there. And then we'll do our big boy roundabout. So we want to get it kind of almost in line, because there's no need for the highway to go down to there, to that road alone. You know what I'm saying? So then let's, ooh, where's the highway? I want to get back to the original. I mean, they're using the big, really big highways, which it's okay. It's just not needed. And then we'll bring this straight across. Oh, it's not going like that, is it now? Right, let's bring this down. There we go, we've merged it in. We've done our best. So the reason I'm creating that little flyover there is because I can see a lot of traffic coming down to this, and I want to try and separate it. So that will fly over, and then this all kind of falls down there to how this is going to connect. But we'll just quickly see the original connection first. We'll get this up and running. So that can pretty much come down to here. And let's create a tiny bend. Oh. There we go. Just kind of get the line of it up. If that made any sense. Then we need to connect this up like that. That like that. So that you can filter on. And then we do the same over here. So you up, you down. It's not beautiful, but it should, he says, guys, it should do the job. Right, so back into play mode now then. So that connection is now still set up. It's not going to change anything. Not sure what's going on over here. Again, it's not going to change anything into here, but as soon as I create or bridge this connection round, things should change. They should change. Right. Okay, so I'm going to want to connect that up. I'm trying to think the best way to do this. So get rid of out of this mode. Right, there we go. Let's just move these. There seems to be quite a lot over here. Where's that going over there? Oh, there's a dam over there. What's that? Look at this random wind turbines. Right, okay, I'm going to pause it again. I'm going to throw these over here just for the sake of them having some form of use. I'm just clearing that area for us. All I then got to do is hook up the power connection to there, and then this area is pretty much all powered again. And I don't have to mess around with this. So these recycling facilities, yeah, let's move these over. Right, dezone that. Right, glorious. Okay, so now we got that coming through. We're going to literally get rid of everything we've just did. Everything that we originally knew about this area has now been kaput. Okay, it's all gone. What we'll do is we'll throw in a smallish roundabout like this. Get rid of those. And with our beautiful connections, oh, let's get it snapping on. Now, I could do this in two ways. I could bridge it up or have a straight roundabout connection. We might see a lot of traffic flowing through this, so maybe that's not the best option for me. So if I bridged it up there, and I'm reverting back now to the smaller highways just to control the traffic a little bit more. So if I go up to here, and then do the same here. So if I pull that out there, and then we'll do this one first. I'm trying to get it to like connect or bend round. Alright, that will work. He says. He says, boys. He says. Okay, we'll get these roads first. Well, probably set up. So we got a connection there. We got a connection there. And okay. So what I could do here is, okay, we need them to be connected to the roundabout first, don't we? Yeah. So we'll have to bring this down, but then you'll also have to connect back up, won't it? Well, it doesn't have to. It don't have to, but I'm thinking this roundabout is not in the greatest location for it now. Let me just get rid of these. And get rid of this. Oh. That will be ideal, like this. Alright, put it there. Just delete these. Oh, is that a crematorium? I didn't know you were just chilling. Alright, let's push you there. Right. Okay, right. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to have this road go just straight across it. This highway now, just for the sake of being able to create the on and off ramp. And then we'll do something pretty cool like that. That in to keep off this road. Okay. Right, I've got it in my mind. If it will work or not is a different story. Oh, that was terrible. Right. Let's get this. Oh, because that was on. Okay, right. Let's try and get this set up now. Okay, and we can flip that one round. Right, sweet. Okay, this does the job. And then, for the sake of it, or do I bring it back from this one? Yeah. I think it'll be better to do it this way, like back a bit more, because it filters then into different ways rather than have it all concentrated on the one side. But I will have to move this nuclear plant, and I'll place it over on this side. Right, let's let's see if I can get this up and running. Okay, sweet. And then the last thing I want to do to this is the lane dictation. So this is what's now going to filter the traffic just nicely. It's not the best of connections, but we need to make sure that if anyone's over here, they don't go up to their roundabout. Because everyone who joins this roundabout causes traffic for us in the long run. So what I would want to do, and we'll probably do it with smaller roads, is every so often, what I can do is we can create a cut through. Like this, and then we bridge it up, straight over, back down, and that, okay, you can't, what's in our, oh, it's a recycling facility. There is so much, oh no, I'm on the wrong move it. There is so much stuff just littered around these places. So by creating this cut through road, there's another one there as well. It stops people from going to join the roundabout. Because the only time I want people to join the roundabout is if they're literally entering or exiting this area. So by creating those shortcuts, in a way, hopefully it deters people from going round there. Only time will tell. Now, I can put it back into its original play mode then, because it's now all sorted. It will do its thing. It will do its thing. We can now get these guys connected. So let's sort this out then. So, well, first let me kind of create the on and off ramps. So I think I need to go a bit further down again, don't I? Right, we'll take it a little bit further, and then we'll play these on and off ramps. So this one can come there. Alright, that one is closer than I would like it. But again, we'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Okay, so I want to now then get these turned. Turn up, boys. That's what we want to do with them. And then in a nice diagonal going straight down. So we'll take this from there to about there. Straight down. And then this side. Right, and then, oh yeah, we need to create the connection there. And then that is literally then all done, right? For this area, it's just then a waiting game to wait for the traffic to flow through. So it's not beautiful, but it does the job. It just enabled me to kind of set it all up beautifully. Right, so what I'm liking is now we can see vehicles crossing over the road, so they're using it to, you know, to their full advantage. Those flyover, passover routes. Just give it time for the traffic to kind of disappear, but obviously when it disappears there, it causes issues further up the road. More importantly, we've got this additional exit road too. So every vehicle that goes down this road is not going into here. Now, we've got a lot of death happening in the city. That's because the hearses and stuff can't get to where they need to get to. I'll also just create that road connection there in case any vehicles needed to get into there. But yeah, okay, right, that's done then. So we'll see what happens now, because a lot of people could have been using this to go around to come back down. So we'll see what happens now with the connection like that. Again, only time will tell. So what issues else do we have then in the city? We'll wait for this to kind of see what happens with this before we change anything. But I know a lot of it is going into here and it's causing more issues as well. Now, is that the only... Oh, she's backing up there too. So that's got to be the only connection in that area. Yeah, the next connection then is this roundabout. So we need to create another 1 or 2 connections into this section. There's a nice little tunnel there. So I wonder if we can do anything to bring it in. There, what's the height difference? Right, okay, we'll pause it once more. And we'll delete from here. And what we'll do is we'll use a simple connection like this. So if I connect it to that road, it's not going to be connected to that road. But just for the sake of having it in, let's get the highways connected. There we go. We've shortened the highway a little bit, but I don't mind it. There we go. Right. This is going to be kind of cool, isn't it? So it does connect into there, but it's not the greatest connection. It's not what I want. But there's a bigger road here. Now, it would mean slightly deleting these, but we'll work a fix. Is it possible? This is a long shot, right? To connect to there. And to there. Obviously, we've got to flip that one around. And then, by slightly deleting those, what it leads us to then do is bridge them over. Alright, there we go. So that it basically creates another connection in and out of this area. So I haven't got to rely on this one to get into this section. So that'll be interesting. Wait, whoa. Hold on. There's the highway here completely closed off. Wait, that's going to be a big contribution too. I'm going to get rid of these. That's going to be a huge contribution to the traffic. How long has that been like that? Right, we'll use the big ones on this. And we'll kind of bend it ourselves. Right, that itself has got to be a huge contribution to some of the traffic issues. I had no idea how long that was going on for. But a lot of the traffic is kind of disappeared from here. We're just still waiting for it to filter through, which is great. So what we can actually help that out with the lanes. We could merge that over like this, so they flow together. And there's no one crashing into anyone. And then just with like the junction restrictions, we can allow them to back up. So they will constantly free flow through. And that, well, once that backlog's gone, that should solve that. But obviously we got to get rid of this backlog in too. So it completely bottlenecks all the way in. And how many people are using this? There is quite a few people in there, but obviously with the traffic built up there, it does stop it. It does stop it. So, holy moly. Just actually looking at the bigger picture of it, the traffic is kind of ridiculous around here. But with now the addition of this road connected in, I wonder how that would change things. That's going to be the interesting part of it. That will be. So what's my traffic flow out now then? 10%. So it's got worse, but it's slightly got better, if that makes sense. Again, when you clear it from one area, it just sends it to another area until you've got it all free flowing through. So there's not a lot we can do about that at the moment. So let's take a look at this then. So they're pretty much just all wanting to go various ways. We created this over here. And obviously it comes into pretty much like a dead spot. So I'm just kind of glancing around on what the best options would be for us with this. It bottlenecks over here. We need a lot of outlet routes, don't we? So what I'll do is, for the sake of it, let's go for these little on-ramps and off-ramps. We create a little section there. It won't do much, but hopefully these little kind of areas lead us on to... We need something here. We have such a good little spot there. So this is just to kind of filter traffic until I can get a handle on it. Right, I'm just watching it now. So it's moving slightly. It is moving slightly, but we need it to move more. So, okay, right, I gotta figure out now the traffic. So we can come up to there, and then it wiggles down to there. It has access to... Okay, so when you're in here, the only exit route is there now, there, and here. So we need also a way to get out, almost, don't we? Right, let's turn this collision on. And use that, because then they might, like, rather than trying to go up to here and get out of the spot. I mean, this is a huge issue right at the moment. Them all trying to move on this junction. But again, you have to solve problems further down the road to get this to move. But it's moving slightly. It's moving slightly. So he says. Right, okay. So is this how much? Are we seeing many people exit this area? They're wiggling and winding in various spots. They're exiting there, so it's handy for those. And that now is coming down to here, which we have some issues there. Right, sweet, sweet, sweet. And how's this area? Semi-solved. We're just waiting for the traffic to eventually go. So that's just like silly stuff. And it will go eventually. It's just waiting for the traffic to like back itself up and disappear. But I can do exits like this. Okay, where's the best option for me to do this? So they're all just trying to get out. So having an exit just there. And having an exit just there, just to get out onto the highway. And that'll kind of solve it. But yeah, this is our big issue at the minute. This is a really big issue at the minute. The backlog is real. Right, I'm going to let the city simulate for a little bit. And then I can see where the true issues lie. And then we can apply some fixes. So I've let it simulate now for a little bit longer, but we're getting build-ups in other places. This is pretty much good to go, but it's really the area that we're really focused on. I've changed some of the way the lanes kind of merge, but it's cleared some traffic, but then the traffic further up builds up. I'll just kind of change this a little bit right now to see where the traffic's flowing in. And it's stuff like this I want to do. Like, we make this the turn only, and then these two lanes go straight on. So if you're not turning, you're going straight on pretty much. But another thing I want to do as well is like when you see this here, all these little turns, stuff like that, we don't need this many turns. Like, we don't need that connection there. I don't need that connection there because they can come from different angles. I'm not sure what that road's doing. I can't even delete that road. What's going on? no idea what's going on with these roads. But we don't need those roads, to be honest. So if I kind of get rid of you and you, what I'm basically doing is creating these free-flowing roads to the destinations that they pretty much want to go to. So if I just kind of like kill off every so often, create these little cul-de-sacs. And then we've got these free-flowing roads. And then obviously, if they want to get to these areas, they just join before they get to this. So this is free-flowing. If that makes any sense whatsoever. But I'm going to see what happens and how it kind of rock and rolls right now. We got a couple of issues in terms of traffic. There is so many different like forms of like traffic. Not traffic, sorry. What am I talking about? Like, where's this? Okay, so we do need a road here. So many forms of transportation. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, there we go. Just for the sake of getting that connected, I threw it down. But that's really going to change how the traffic now flows through this area. The same thing going on over here too. It filters through. We don't need to have a connection on every area. We just need like one kind of like main area, and everyone else flows in different ways. But they're treating this here as a complete fly-through road. So if that came down here, I'm not sure what these... I mean, these little roads that stick out, I have no idea why they're there. But apparently they're there for some reason. I don't know why. Right, traffic is semi-moving. Ish. But traffic is built up in other areas. So another reason why they can't clear this area is because it backs up. So let's look at the source then. The source seems to be all the way over here. What's going on? They're trying to get to... they're trying to get to the export area. Gotcha. So what I'll do here then is we'll upgrade it. Just pause it. Upgrade it to a one-way road. There we go. So upgrade to a one-way road. And then if they wanted to get out of this area, they could come up to here and exit that way. Or we'll create like an alternative route. Right, let me actually let's watch it flow first. So we've created this one-way route, which now need to all kind of get out of here. They're all skedaddling and moving, which is going to cause a lot of traffic flow now. So this was one of the things you just got to wait for it to kind of just adjust itself. We have this causing a lot of traffic too, the postal service. So if I move it over here, for example, does it have water? Yeah, it's not going to have power, but I'll give it some quick power now, just so it's not out of there, because that's causing some issues too. Now, if I treat, for example, this road here as an exit to there, and if I bring it up, it's not beautiful, but it'll do the job, just as to get the traffic out of there. So if there's that route to get out, which will create the one-way roads now, so pause while I just update this. So a straight road all the way down, so traffic can flow. We should be semi-good. We should be. We should be. That is the $1 million. Where's that road up? Oh, it's going up to there. I'm about to say, well, no, that was going for a second. So everyone is also trying to enter this area too. So if we create these small little pockets, these small little inlets. So if I created that there, and then I created like an outlet there, and then this one, like that, just for the sake of trying to filter them out in this area. So there is like a slight exit that they'll now go and use, rather than trying to filter them ways to get over to this area and get out of the industrial section. But again, it's just one of those things. It's time and time again. But they all want to get to this export area, don't they? That is the ultimate goal for them right now. So basically, once they go for the export area, we want them to get out of the city. That's pretty. What are these, by the way? These are worker barracks. We want them to get out of the city. So what we basically want to do is get them straight onto the highway, and then pretty much out of here. So if I kind of just deleted that to there, and then what's this? This is the mail oil building. Can I? Whoa, there's a lot of oil. There is a lot of oil. Can I just move this somewhere else? I'm not exactly sure where. Can I just throw it here? Just for now. And this is what we're going to do. So we'll get rid of that road, which might cause some issues as well. Get rid of, let's pause it to there. So the only reason that we're coming down here at this point is to, once they've exited this. Otherwise, they would have turned down one of these roads and then took a different, you know, under this bridge there or under there to get to this side. So we can treat this as being, they now want to exit. And that's all it's going to be for, is they want to exit this area, which has gone through that building, which we're going to have to now get rid of. What is that building? Police headquarters. Boom. And that's what we'll treat the road as. So it's all one way. So we're going to get out of there now. The traffic's going to move. Some of them don't want to get out of the area, but it's too late. It's too little too late. You got to go. It's the exit for the airport. But the junctions there can send them on their way and whatnot. And that should then get rid of a lot of the backlog, which getting rid of that backlog then solves some of the issues further in. So sometimes you just got to face the head of the traffic for it to start fully moving. But it's now going, like these guys here didn't want to go down there, so they'll take a different route round. But it now makes the traffic flow, which is all we ever wanted, right? Which is all we ever wanted. So now then, I need to sort this out. So this lane, and this lane, and put that there, all turn that way. So what we're saying to this junction, you'd be in this lane to go there, this lane to go there, and then this lane to go there. So they can really start to pick their lanes and where they want to go. So these guys looking like they're trying to get out of there. And we'll create, just off this now, nice simplistic connection that they can use to go on their way. Liking it. So this is going to now slowly start to move some of the other traffic. Slowly start to solve this area. Obviously, because we filtered it into the lanes there. Oh, you know what we should do? We should say, just to make it even more, like, you know, you had to go that way to get into this area. And this is, again, an exit route. So, traffic moves. We'll allow it to back itself up like that. Filters them through. That will get rid of some of the congestion on the highways. Because a lot of them are choosing to go down here to go into there. It's because there's no on and off ramp on this junction. Which again is causing issues in the long run. But there we go. Traffic will be a-moving. Traffic will be a-moving. Just got to give it some time. Just got to give it some time. And time is all we have right now. So I think the only true way to solve this big industrial issue was to get rid of a lot of the industrial buildings, because there was too many confined in one area, which ultimately resulted in the huge traffic issues. Now, I'll go over a lot of them, and because we don't have despawning gone, they have to drive out of the area at this point, which they're all trying to do. They've all gone in different ways, so this backlog will eventually clear, but as you can see, it's slowly starting to move. Traffic scenario right now, the flow is up to 17%, so we're increasing. A few other things that I've done now is I've kind of got rid of the connection there to allow them to flow a bit more. I've created this bigger road here so they can go round and exit the area. So we're creating this almost like a loop. And I think the best thing for me to do, and I've kind of done it over here too, and I'm kind of waiting to see how it's going to come from it. Oh, hold on, wait, I've done it kind of wrong slightly. Is I've created this one-way kind of loop right now, which we're going to use this as an outer ring road, which some of the bus stops were just complaining about it because of not being able to get there, but they should be able to get there at this point. So creating this little loop here is like, it's almost like a roundabout inside of the city centre, if that makes sense. So we just kind of wait for that to filter the traffic through, and it should be pretty good. They're still complaining the bus routes are, but they should auto update very, very soon. And I kind of want to apply the same logic in this area. So if I was to pause it for a second and upgrade these roads to a one-way route, it creates a consistent flow of traffic. Okay, they're now going the wrong way round. There we go. And then straight out here. So this doesn't do what the other one does. There's no kind of connection, but I could now create that connection back. Like that. So it creates ultimately that then loop. And the traffic then should flow beautifully round. And obviously if it keeps going round and round, it can then filter other traffic onto it. And it could solve a lot of our issues. We'll see how it plays out in the long run. We'll see how it plays out, but hopefully it works out for the best. You never know. You never know. But stuff like this, we have like traffic lights on. We get rid of traffic lights. We allow the... no, I'll turn it back on. We allow the junction restrictions to back up the traffic and let nobody cross over on this road. Just for the sake of having, like I said, the traffic flowing. Now it kind of then slows down towards this area, but it is all moving through, slowly but surely. So we'll do junction restrictions here to allow them to back themselves up, so they continually move. So roads like this, I figured out how I can get rid of this road. I have to apply the move it tool and then delete it this way, because there's no other way of me getting rid of that road, which is kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of annoying. But again, that should now do what it's got to do and have the traffic then start to flow. So it's going to solve some issues and whatnot. It's going to cause other issues, and I feel like we need to do the same here too, this one-way looped system. So they could work for the greater good. So pause again, and we'll have it go up. There we go. And back down. Where does it invert there? There we go. And connect straight over. So that nice little loop there should continually make the traffic flow. Over time. Over time. We've got to clear the highways yet. We've got to clear the highways yet. And an issue we've got over here with the highways is they're backing up just here. So let's do some of that beautiful lane dictation. And I can't see it enough. So I could make it all go one way. So I could make this go there. And then you there. You there. And you there. Just for making the traffic flow and get in, because I don't want this to happen. And then if I make, oh no, the connection's here. So if I make this one there, you there, and then all these straight on. Hopefully they'll sort their lanes out when they get to this area. And then they should be up and running. It should then move the backlog going through the middle, because that's where we're seeing some issues right now arise, which should be sorted very, very soon, guys. Right, it's looking up. It's definitely looking up. Again, I've got to wait for this backlog of the industrial traffic to kind of disappear, because that kind of filters into everything else. But, you know, baby steps. A lot of playing around and messing about right now. I kind of killed a lot of the roads off and did some one-way systems and stuff like that. Kind of got the traffic under semi-control. There's a lot of issues with the bus routes because I've did like highway roads and upgraded them. so nowhere for them to go. I created stuff like little cut-throughs for the mountain, which is working really well. The industry where we started over here to begin with is now building up a little bit more traffic. That's why everyone comes in, because when you kind of like clear, it's like the tail end of the traffic. It's like we had backed up on the highway for ages, and then once you do clear it, it then pushes it off to its final destination, its final end, which is it's the kind of the tail end of the huge backlogs we had. I actually heavily reduced the timber yard too and do a lot of work on this. This was crazy. This is not all my work. This is what was already previously in for it in the past. So I don't know what's going on. This has been a chaotic traffic challenge. I'm going to tell you that right now. It has been so chaotic to try and get this under control. The city is still screaming at us, but you can tell by the population growth now occurring that it's on the up. It's on the rise. Finally, the garbage trucks can get to their destinations. Finally, the ambulances can get to their sick patients as well. Things are slowly turning around for us. The only thing that we have issue right now is because we got through the backlog. We've got like a gazillion amount of buses trying to get to their routes, which is not much I can do about that. It's one of those things you just have to let it simulate through. But it's slowly but surely it's getting there. In terms of public transport, this was the network that I was looking at. It is a shambles. I will tell you that right now. It is a shambles. But we do have a lot of them work. I haven't touched the public network transport, just to let you know that. But when it comes to the bus routes, look how many bus routes there is. Yeah. There's a lot of bus routes. And that is a lot of the issues with the traffic, is the amount of buses on the road. I could get rid of them all. As simple as that. But now we're getting like problems arising and stuff like that. I could get rid of them all. That would solve a lot of the issues, but it also is transporting a couple of residents too. But I feel like now the backlog is gone, that is going to be my downfall in the long run. But what is my average traffic flow at the moment? 45%. That's the highest it's been in a very long time. Now, if I was to get rid of all the bus routes, because I can then just kind of say to them they can rely on other modes of transport, it would take a while to get rid of them. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like this one here has 57 vehicles. I mean, it is counterintuitive. Like you're probably thinking, yeah, but like, can I sort it by vehicles? Yeah. You're probably thinking, yeah, but like they're all like helping, they're moving people, aren't they? But when you kind of look at it, it's like 23 vehicles, 40 passengers. It's causing more issues than it's solving at that point, isn't it? It really is causing more issues than it's solving at that point. So just kind of get rid of some of the bigger ones, the chunky ones. That's less vehicles than on the road. They're not going to like it, but now that I've cleared the backlog of traffic, there we go, people can now travel. And for those small amount of people who are, using some of these networks, they can go into other networks, like using the subway or whatnot. Okay, we'll get rid of that's enough there. I don't know how much it's going to change things. We now got a lot of now all the blue buses, they're going to be heading back to the depot. They are going to be heading back to the depot, wherever the depot is. So that then should solve some of the issues. It's got rid of all the bus stops here, which is now making the traffic flow for us, and we could be back up and running, boys. We could be back up and running. So they're returning to the depot. Where is the depot for this? The depot happens to be over here. Again, in such, is that it there? Yeah, in such a random spot. It really is. So if I just kind of cancel that, what if I delete it? Just out of interest. I don't know if it like fully makes it disappear. And where's this one going again? Okay, right. Is there multiple depots over here? Wow. Okay. Okay. Right, let's delete these depots. Is there many more of them? I mean, it's got rid of the backlog of the buses that were trying to get somewhere. they were gonna get decommissioned anyway, so it's it's like they're floating back right now because I deleted them all. But you're gonna get the gist of it. You kind of get the gist of it. This has been very tough. It's been a very tough scenario, and obviously the big bulk of traffic right now is coming from because we had such a backlog of vehicles or bus vehicles trying to get in here. But they should be, they're slowly getting there, guys. They're slowly but surely, we get in there. So it was at 45%. What are we up to now? 37. Okay, so if anything, we're going down. If anything, we are going back down. But if I fast forward it slightly, to give them a little bit of a wiggle on, where's the traffic stopping over here? There's just so many stop and starts, isn't there? There is so many stop and starts that they've got to pretty much contend with. But the roundabout here is all nice and working nice and fluid. The highway down here, which was, I was very impressed with this at one point, so I completely cleared it. But we got this slight little backlog coming in. And a lot of it is because people are trying to merge in from certain lanes. We could solve that by doing a little bit of traffic flow navigation styling. Wait, is all my, no, I'm about to say, is all my hard work disappeared? But it hasn't, no. Like, if I can select it to merge over there. And you kind of do the same with this. You just get them to just kind of pass themselves over as the traffic moves in. There's a lot. I mean, this is a big bulk of the backlog over here. What's going on over here? I did place a lot of this lane management in. But then some of it has just disappeared. I don't know why. So let me just throw this down quickly. So by not allowing them to merge at this point, it makes this flow. And this is what I solved earlier, which is really, really good. Have this continue. What we'll do, we'll make this last one here. We'll make this continue to merge in as well. Okay, so this actually, I actually didn't do as much as I originally thought, but what I did was enough, obviously, until I've added in these extra stuff. Right, that goes up to here, so that's when the kind of merging stops. So when this kind of, I don't think I'm a fan of this having the ability to merge into so many lanes. So if I take that off, there we go. So that should all flow beautifully. Again, it moves. You just got to give it time to filter through. But it's definitely moving. It's definitely moving, which will then clear the small little backlog it's now creating itself. So then it's now stopping at this point. So to keep it moving again, we make sure we keep pushing everything. Takes a little bit of time, but stuff like this makes a huge difference in the long run. So you can only go into that one. And then we'll do this as the last one here. And then everyone before that can then choose their lanes they need to get into. And look at that. It constantly flows. Obviously, it's backing up, and this kind of ramp goes up to up here, which kind of pulls it back self down again. But that's the only thing. It's like when you clear the traffic from one area, it kind of then moves on to the next one. It's like a never-ending cycle. We're now down to 27%. We was up to 45 at one point. What happened, guys? Literally. Wow. Right, I feel like I've ultimately now fixed a big chunk of it. Where that road came through, I kind of deleted it there. And what's this? Oh, the subway. Oh no. Oh no. The subway line, guys. The subway line. Let's just connect it up here. There we go. So just kind of get rid of that there. So we kind of like designating the areas to where it can flow through, which has made this move a bit more. There wasn't such a build up right now. But again, we just kind of got to wait for the traffic to flow through. So it gets to this point and then it kind of goes a little bit off. But if I try and merge this beautifully with the correct lanes, it should constantly flow without stopping. So when it gets to here, this is when it then chooses where it needs to go. let's kind of set it up like that. So then that should constantly just keep moving and ticking along once it finds its momentum. I just got to find where it does merge, and that's kind of where I don't want it to do it. So I think it's all done now, isn't it? Yeah, it's all going to be constantly moving, which looks glorious. Now just kind of clear some of the backlog it's now building up to become. Right, traffic flow, 46%. Okay, we're getting a little bit higher now. We are rocking and a rolling, guys. We're doing such a good job. Such a good job. I feel like we'll never solve these issues because of how ridiculous this city had been built. It's not ideal. But they're all coming in to do this left turn, and they're all the same type of vehicle, really, aren't they? And they're all trying to go in a certain way. So let's see if I can create some little ways to kind of merge in, or kind of in and off it again. So they're pretty much all going to go down to there anyway to merge in. But what if I upgraded that road? Upgrade that one as ways to kind of get out of there. And do they have traffic lights on? Yeah. So it's just the little things like that, like turn off the traffic lights. Really solve some of the issues that they do have. And if the majority of them are pretty much filtering on to get down to there, they might even start choosing this one at some point. But this is where you do some nice junction restrictions, like allowing them to back up on one another. That really then starts to move the traffic and keeps it flowing. And to make it life a little bit easier for these guys, so if I made this one go like that, this one swing into there, and then that one go there, and I can say to this, you turn down there, and you turn down there. So by doing that then, it kind of creates that constant flow for these guys, but they're going to still be merging down there anyway. I mean, as you can see, we're getting the backlog built up, but we've got to get more people moving in, or give them the ability to get into this area. So they'll just come in over time, but another way to kind of solve that would be then to create little cut-ins like this. So you don't want too many. You just kind of want enough. It looks a little bit funny because of how I've merged it in now. But obviously with the lane management, make one go this way, one go this way. And by squeezing it back there, pulls it all in. And then over time, that should then slowly start to clear. See, the backlog of there has now been cleared because we've now moved the traffic from this area. I'm just getting this, once this passes, this will then continue to flow through. We've got this little extra section. So it's now going to be moving. So the backlog is still occurring down here. It's moving in beautifully, but I just got to figure out a better solution for this now. As an overpass to merge on the opposite side, so it kind of doesn't dig into the traffic merging from there, which is a little bit better. In terms of now traffic flow, it's a 54%, the highest we've ever got it. And I think that's the highest we're ever going to get it. It's been a tough challenge. We've slowly gotten there. The only downside to this is it's not a perfectly built city. So that's my saving grace. I can claim we've done as good as we can. With the tools that we had to hand. Forget the fact that I haven't got those back in. It is what it is. But guys, if you enjoyed this little traffic challenge, you want to see more of it in the future, then let me know by smashing that like button down below. If you've got any ones that you want to suggest me do in the future, or your own cities, upload them to the Steam Workshop, link them to me on Twitter or Discord, I'll check them out. But in the meantime, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, goodbye.